before we get out of here, I wanted to read a couple relationship advice questions that made it to the top of the charts in the relationship advice subreddit. It's where I go to find all of the viral questions, which basically means they were the best questions. If they made it to this week's top of the charts on the relationship subreddit, it means they had a ton of discussion. So I want to read a few to you, and we can answer them. So the first, and this one you might relate to, Tasha. The first one's called "My Boyfriend is Disgusting." I'm posting this for 2 reasons. I want to show my boyfriend that I'm not high maintenance and he truly is disgusting. And number 2, for advice. Now let me get into it. We've been quarantined for days and I'm sick of his mess. I can't deal with it. Socks and underwear everywhere, hair on the bathroom floor and sink. He literally shit on the toilet seat yesterday and didn't clean it and had the audacity to say it wasn't him. He masturbated in the shower and left his evidence on the shower wall. I'm seriously so unattracted to him, and I don't know what to do. By the way, at this point, I'm thinking this was you who wrote it. And I'll tell you why it's not. I was like, what the fuck? Tasha just literally wrote this. And then I'm looking at the title. I'm like, is a throwaway account. Was this her? And then it goes, do I make a checklist for him so he doesn't forget? I'm like, oh, that would be Tasha. And then it said, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I've started using the guest bathroom, and I'm at ease knowing it's clean and any mess is my own. And I was like, we don't have a guest bathroom.
I could have written that post.
But you asked me if I shit underneath the toilet seat. And I was like, what the?
No, on the toilet seat, there was like flex.
It fell off your butt.
Okay. Sorry, but I don't have explosive poop the way you do.
This is why we need a kid, because I got no one to blame shit. I got the dog. I can be like, the dog farted.
No, the dog does fart a lot. But you were talking earlier about like finding ways to co-work in peace. I saw the funniest meme that was like, make up a coworker. It wasn't even a meme. It was just like an advice. Like for couples who are forced to work at home now, y'all need to make up an imaginary coworker to blame stuff on. That's the only way you can prevent killing each other.
Who should it be? A guy or a girl?
Gladys.
Gladys shit on the toilet seat again. Oh, leave it to Gladys. I mean, it's true. When you don't have that third person there, it's pretty obvious. But anyway, yeah, I mean, look, if you live with a person who's messy like that, look, you're not going to change who they are. You're really not.
But honestly, I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair to just be like, you're not going to change who they are and wipe your hands of it and walk away, because
no, but it's like, control you can, or get them out. You know, what are you going to do?
But I mean, if this is a person that you love and you want to spend your life with, but they just have seriously screwed up habits because no one ever told them they had to make their bed in childhood.
But you know what though? Like we've adjusted to, like, you know, making the bed is way more important to you than to me. When you're out of town, that bed gets made when you're coming back from out of town. Like that's it. I'm making it right before I'm going to go pick you up at the airport. That's what's. But there's times when you're like, babe, you'll be like, why the fuck is there beard hair in my retainer? And then I'll be like, well, look, honey, when you shave, it flies everywhere. And sometimes it doesn't settle all at a time, or it'll still be wet. So it'll be clumped together. And then when it dries, it kind of puffs out.
Yeah. But when you make a mess, that mess is your responsibility. So it doesn't matter if like, oh, it just goes everywhere. It's like, well, then you have a responsibility to check everywhere, wipe down everywhere.
Why can't she move him to the guest bathroom then? That way, like, I would love it if you and I had separate sinks for both the kitchen and just so you could see that I will take care of my stuff. And that way, if I do leave the cap off the, but don't get me wrong. Sometimes you just don't notice these things. Like, I know I've seen it. Like, I think Raquel, commented, or one of our listeners who was a friend of ours said how like they'll leave their husband's shit out for a week to see if the guy notices, and he won't. We'll take it to the grave. Like sometimes we just won't notice.
But it's just not fair. It's not fair to the people around you who have to deal with you to just not notice.
Yeah.
It's not fair. It's rude.
Yeah. Well, but in our case, I mean, like, there's times when there's certain things where, like, you'll develop a blob of clothes on top of a purse, or like a suitcase that just never gets unloaded.
But you know what? None of that stuff is in your way.
Right.
Like, if I have a pile of clothes in my own closet that you never venture into and you never have to find.
No, I'm talking about in front of the mirror. And look, it's just like, and it's not, I'm just saying, obviously there's a difference between like getting shit on your seat and consistently being a slob versus like, okay, I didn't notice a thing, but that the other person's going to put in the time and energy to clean up after. Like you fall asleep first on the couch all the time, and I just clean the shit up and put it away, but that's different than say like leaving fecal matter. You know what I mean? Like there's difference to taking care of each other versus one person like mothering the other. So if she's already talked to the guy, I mean, there's not much else you can do other than just either learning to live with it or moving on, because I mean, this is a grown adult here. So, I'm going to skip that question. Let's do, these are all pandemic ones. Anyone else breaking up through the pandemic? My boyfriend, 30 male of 5 years, and I, 29 female, are taking a break and I'm struggling. Looking for solidarity, comfort, and breakup advice. And then in this description, they said,
it's got to be really tough to be going through who gets the
mask?
I don't think that they're saying that they're breaking up because they're quarantined together, which totally is a thing. I mean, I'm sure they actually there's very real concerns about upticks in domestic violence because people who are not, doing well in their marriage are now stuck together. Well,
because you could use this, it's like a manipulating tactic to be able to be like, well, you can't go out to the bar with your friends or you can't see anybody. Like, yeah, I could totally see that.
But can you imagine, not that you're breaking up because of you realize you hate this person when you have to spend so much time with them, but you just broke up and now all of your friends, everyone is quarantined.
Yeah.
And you don't have any distractions.
But is this
all you can do is eat ice cream and watch Netflix all day in your own apartment.
She said, I'm staying at a friend's house and he is at our house with our cats. They have cats together. It just got to a point where we couldn't sweep it under the rug anymore. It was time to have a talk. The discussion was rational and we're on the same page about taking space. It's just really hard to be losing a friend and being out of my home and having lost my job and dealing with COVID-19. Plus, I don't have my kitties. There's no certainty and it's really scary. Just wanted to be safe, to be sad in a safe space and looking for solidarity. Yeah, every advice you give someone in a breakup is like, get out there, go meet people, go fuck somebody, don't be socially distant, just don't be now we're like, be socially distant, and you're like, no, but you can still go on a hike or depending on where they live.
Luckily she's staying out of friends.
Yeah, hopefully she's getting that dick. Get it. There's I got two. No, is this the last one? Here, this is the last one. My girlfriend, this is a dude who's 17. My girlfriend, and his girlfriend's 19. Oh, she's a predator. Excuse me, that burp was gross. Yeah, did you guys hear that? Feedback. He's 17, said, my girlfriend's family took a family picture and wouldn't let me be a part of it. Is this a normal thing that families do? And let me read further. He said, my girlfriend's family was having a party for her sister. She was getting married, and at the after party, I got to meet my girlfriend's extended family, aunts and uncles, grandparents, and everything. They loved me, really. They were really nice, overtly nice, asking about my plans for after school, if I had any scholarships or anything. They even let me eat and fix a plate first. So I know they didn't hate me, but there was one moment that confused me. We took a group photo with the whole family. My girlfriend was eager to let me be in the photo. She pulled me into the frame and we took the picture with me in it. But then the photographer went to take another, but her mom wouldn't let them. She told them to wait and she asked me if I could step out of the frame. She was polite about it, so I obliged. After the party, I asked her what that was all about. She said her mom has this thing where she wants to take an extra photo without the boyfriends or significant others. I asked why, and she said something about in case it doesn't work out. They let her sister's new husband in the photo, though. I just wondered, is this something normal families do?
Yeah, that's absolutely normal. You can tell a 17-year-old asked that. Yeah. I didn't want to be. The first time we went to go meet your family, your parents insisted I get in the photo. That was weird.
No, we did photos without you, though.
Yeah, sure you did.
No, but it should be, I think it should be up to you, the outsider, to be like, no, you guys go in. And then after they're like, okay, come in.
No, but obviously it can't be like that because you've got a person like this that doesn't know that they should excuse themselves.
No, but now he knows you should excuse yourself. And it's funny that he goes, well, they let the new husband in. Yeah, bro, you just met the grandparents. You know what I mean? You don't even know.
Yeah, the new husband is legally bound to this family now.
Last year for Christmas, I was in your extended family's photo after church service. And I was still kind of like, do they want me in this? Should I get on the outside? I know how to Photoshop works. I'm like, should I be on the outside? It'll be hard. It'll be easy to remove me.
Where was that?
It was that giant mega church place. It was the first time we went.
It's not a mega church.
Well, it was, it was a big,
yeah, for Rhode Island, I guess.
That was you guys had a mall. You had
That's
mall
a normal
hallways.
Church.
There was pamphlets everywhere.
That's the church I grew up in.
Free coffee though. I'll bend the knee for some free coffee. Anyway, yeah, I mean, look, did I have any more? Maybe there's one more in there. But, yeah, that's a guy who just doesn't understand. Look, of course it's not going to work out. You got to assume it's not going to work out.
Yeah,
just get out of the fucking photo.
About to go to college.
Got the disgusting one. Oh, here's one. Should I tell the other girl? So basically, I just found out a guy I'd been sleeping with for a whole year actually had a long-term girlfriend the whole time. He lied to me and told me that they had broken up. I happened to come across her social media profile and saw that they were actually together the whole time. Should I tell her? I feel really awful, shocked, and confused right now and really need someone to give me some objective advice. Part of me doesn't want to get involved, but part of me feels like this poor woman deserves better. Tasha, that one's for you. Should she tell the other woman?
Boy, it's so tough. I feel like in that situation when you're like, should I tell, should I not tell? It's hard to know what the other person would want. It's hard to know. Some people would rather just be blissfully ignorant. You know, I read a similar one of those the other day where the person they had a family. Yeah. And the husband was like running around and was dating someone else. And then the girl found out that, oh my God, this guy actually has a family. And the advice, the question was, should I tell? And it's like, well, I don't know. Are you going to break up a family? Maybe she already knows he has a history of infidelity. Maybe she's just trying to ignore it.
Yeah, it's weird. It is.
It's a hard space to be in. I think that obviously people deserve to know the truth, but do you really want to be the one to tell them?
Would you want to know if some chick was banging me?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd want to know.
I don't got the time. I don't got the fucking time to deal with more. More. Hey, what time are you be home? What time are you going to be away from your wife?
I think it's a complicated situation for the person who was the other woman to be the person to tell. Maybe there's like, in this other situation, there was a mutual friend, that could be like the person to tell.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I know it's, what's interesting is we were watching Tiger King, is that what it's called? There's a lot of infidelity in that. All these white, really just trashy humans. I mean, you guys watching this show on Netflix, it's freaking amazing. It's about the tiger trade, like the exotic tiger world, and there's like gay guys that are then straight and they're fucking and they have tattoos by their crotch to say, he's like, Joe's zone only. It's like, what the fuck, man? They're making me question everything I'm doing in life. Tasha doesn't have a tattoo that says Dave's zone only. Come on, donate to the Patreon. I got to get Tasha a tattoo. But it's I don't know. People are complicated out there. I don't know. I mean, are we either A, that naive, or B, just not shitty humans? Because it's only like the shitty humans that, and again, I'm not trying to virtue signal here, but obviously the juiciest of the juicy is what shoots up to the top of these sort of like relationship advice questions. It's never like, oh, well, we were just, having a low libido and I jerked off in the shower and shit on a toilet. And, that was one, but it's, I don't know. It's interesting. It's like, you should know, you would think and not to victim blame, but you would think someone would know if they were being cheated on for that long, You would think, but I am not a suspicious person, so I have never thought, what's he up to when you're out at Have you ever thought I was out philandering?
No.
Is that a word? Philandering?
No, I don't think you are. But
of all the things that you are, it's so shocking that's not you.
That actually makes me the person that's like primed to get cheated on, because I have no suspicions whatsoever. It wouldn't even cross my mind.
Like, I dated a girl once.
So think about how easy it could be. It could be super easy for you to be fooling around and not know. I think the things that give off the biggest signal are when a relationship starts to feel distant and like your significant other is maybe spending more time on their phone than usual, or being super secretive about their phone when they didn't used to.
Yeah.
So like those could be like little flags that would alert you that something's different. But, back to this question, we don't know what their circumstances are. I mean, maybe it's an open relationship type thing, and maybe he was only being untruthful to the second person who thought wouldn't be into that.
You know what sounds crazy, but I really feel this way. I think, and again, everyone's different, so it's not like some gender thing, like women are this way, men are that way. But I think when you have a family, like mom mode takes over. And I know, like people it really must affect their sex lives because, when you kind of break down the gene code of humans, it's like, all right, find attraction. Okay. Find a provider. Great. Get knocked up. Awesome. Now protect this kid, feed them the best food, make them the best thing, and that carries on your gene pool. So it's like once you're hyper focused on the kids, I always look at this with my sister, with Chase, and she's got 4 fucking kids. They're beautiful, they're cute, but I always feel bad for Sean, her husband, because I'm like, give this guy some love. He's out there working his ass off.
Priority list now. He's lowest on the totem pole.
Sean comes home. He's like a breadwinner. He comes home from a long day, and she's like, "Oh, it must be nice. You going to some conference." And it's like, gee, fuck, man. Like this guy's providing everything for you. He's working his balls off. But I get it. Like I get like that things shift. You just have to be evolved enough or enlightened enough as a person to like understand. All right. I understand this is my priority now, but I got to look at this. And then she does it. She'll give him some nice posts, but it's like, you need to like,
but hold on. She's also working her ass off.
Of course.
She's up to her neck in diapers every day.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? So like, yeah, he's working his ass off, but she is also working her ass off.
But he's got to report to somebody.
She doesn't have the luxury of like getting away from the kids and like thinking about anything else.
No, I totally get it.
That takes up all her brain space.
But I can just imagine.
But I think what would be excellent for their marriage and everyone's marriage in general is like bedtime is at 8:30 and mommy and dad have mommy and dad time.
Yeah.
From 8:30 to 10. Whatever that means. If that means Netflix, if that means a glass of wine and popcorn, if that means a little sexy time, like you really have, I mean, I'm big on the schedule, we can't get
the dog, but you just can't control kids. Like we can't get the dog to shut up at night. Like we've got a dog that starts crying at night. Like, you know what I mean? It's, I've seen how you react to the dog, and it makes you wonder. Imagine like you're sleeping in the middle of the night and some kid wet willies your ear.
Tired. I'm so tired. I was thinking about this earlier. I cannot fucking imagine being a mom because I'm exhausted already. I don't have anything left.
My mom was a decade younger than you with 2 kids. A decade younger than you with 2 kids, no husband. I know, it's wild.
Well, a decade younger me maybe could have had the stamina for 2 kids, but this girl...
No, but then my mom had her 4th when she was 41. And now she didn't have the stamina. I mean, that was tough, but she had teen children.
Exactly. Live-in babysitters.
I remember when Jameson was born.
You know, Sean's birthday is tomorrow.
Oh, yeah? Well, we'll have to come up.
So he's going to be 20?
Wow. Yeah, we both have weird.
Right?
We both have weird age ranges.
Or 19. No, because he was born in 2000, so he will be 19 because you go from 0 to 1.
When Jameson was born, I was 11. Okay, which I was really that young. Huh? I was 11.
Wait, does that mean he's gonna be 20?
What year was he born?
2000.
Yeah, honey. Jesus Christ. When Jameson was born, he was maybe a couple months old. And we had a tiny house. It was before we moved. We were still living in Newport. Tiny 3-bedroom home. But this is for like 6 people. It was 2 different families merged together. He's my half brother. And I remember telling my mom, first of all, I was 11. You know what I mean? But in my head, maybe I was 12. Okay, call me 12. But in my head, I was like, I was like a pretty, I was a pretty mature kid. I did a lot of growing up on the streets of Newport, Rhode Island. Okay, I really did. And I go, hey mom, I'll watch Jameson tonight. I got him. That's what I said. I was 12. And I thought, I guess in hindsight, I thought they would be like, no, you're 12. We're good. But they were so tired. They were like, sure, just take him. And I remember I watched him all for one night. And it's like, that's it. And it was, and again, I know some moms out there. I know Rayanne, she's a new mother. She's one of our listeners and a good friend of mine. I know she's out there being like, one night, wow, good job, Dave. Gold star. But it's interesting to be like, you get like this like glimpse into what the reality is that you don't understand until you're a parent. And hey, maybe we'll get there, maybe we won't. But who knows? Maybe the coronavirus will spur a lot of births in the November of this year, right? November 9, 10, 11, December. There'll be a lot of births, a lot of Christmas time. Corona babies. But anyway, so shout out to all the moms, the hardworking moms out there. And the point of it all is to circle it all the way back is to maintain gratitude for the things we take advantage of. I'm not telling just this to you. It's maintain the butterflies of, wow, this person's into me. Fucking cool. I don't know if you ever had that from me, Tasha, but wow, this person's responding to my text. Wow, we're flirting. Wow, cool. All too often in society, in relationships, once we get the thing, whatever it is,
the novelty wears off.
The novelty wears off. I was going to say this before about you. You could win the lottery, and instead of stressing about making money, you'd be like, well, where should I invest my dividends? So it's like the novelty wears off. The novelty of relationships, of good things wears off. It is up to us to treat every day with the gratitude that we still have all that, especially, and maybe this is one of the purposes of this pandemic, is to remind us of the simple value of life above all else. That's all I have to say about that.
Wow, preachy.